Hello everybody and welcome back to Creativity Time with Little Miss Pinks. That is when my little miss, my mini me, picks a stamp set and a colour from the Stampin' Up! Current range, and I create something using those two items. So I have no idea what I'm creating. Don't know, but I'll introduce myself. I'm Tatiana Tobin, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Australia. And today we're experiencing a very wet weather. It's ideal crafting weather, so I thought it'd be nice. Well, actually, no, I didn't think that it'd be nice. I know that it would be nice. Anyhow, let's flip down to the table.
Somewhere in front of you.
Okay, here it is. Oh, we've even taken the marker out. We've got Real Red and Forever Blossoms, another one that I haven't used in a very long time. Why red, my dear? Red isn't really the usual colour with cherry blossoms. They're normally more pink. Let's put the Stampin' Right marker. She has stumped me. Another stumper. Stump.
Maybe it could be a hot sunny day.
Hot sunny day, yes. Well, it'll be very hot. I'm thinking. I am totally stumped. Stumped. I haven't even used all the stamps in this. How is that possible? I know that I've used... Oh, no. I've barely even used this. That probably explains why. We do have dies, so let me get the dies that coordinate with this.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. What were they called? Cherry blossom dies, I believe.
Probably.
Don't even know. I think so. Let me... I've got to check it. If memory serves me right, I got this... Oh, man. I got this stamp set and I pulled off the tab that says dies, of course. It's the page with the ripped corner. There it is. Maybe there. If memory serves me correctly, Cherry Blossom dies coordinates with the Forever Blossom stamp set. So, ta-da, I am right. And memory serves me well. Page 73 from the 2021 to 2022 annual catalogue. I received the stamp set at Onstage.
You did?
I did.
Cool.
I don't remember if it was a prize patrol or whether we got to use it and I got to take it home from the... Anyway, reminiscing. Let's see. It's a cute sample there. And I do love the dies. I remember getting the dies. Oh, and I love this concept of die cutting them out. Do I have to use the red? Can we change the red? It's the red that's the problem.
Okay. Close your eyes.
Oh, yes? Okay. We're going to change the red. And what are we substituting? Poppy Parade. That's another red.
Wait, that is red?
Yes.
Isn't it pink?
No.
Oh.
That is red. One more try. I cannot work with red and these flowers. Okay, third time lucky. Ah, shaded spruce. Okay, I can work with that. The leaves need to be a certain colour. Not my favourite of greens, can I just say.
I couldn't choose a red. It would be green.
Shaded spruce. I'm thinking watercolour again.
Yeah! Watercolour.
Because...
I love watercolour.
I don't know, I just really enjoyed that one.
That was so fun.
With the birds.
Free as a bird.
Free as a bird, that's right. Oh man, you really, really stumped me. I can't believe I've never really used these.
Yeah.
They cling. They're not that old. I had to check. Okay, and we do have dies, and I know that there is a die piece that cuts that out.
But doesn't it cut that bit out? Along there?
So shaded spruce. Let's grab some watercolor paper.
Oh,
Get a big sheet. Yeah, I'll do it. So we've got the watercolor paper, which is fluid 100. And I know what we'll do. I'm not going to tell you.
oh, please.
Nope.
Oh.
I'm going to start with jet black ink.
Why jet black?
And this is the Stays On ink, so it's watercolor friendly, meaning I can stamp with this. And I probably should be using the Stamparatus, but
Stamparatus.
so let's see how we go. Right. The impression's pretty good.
Yep.
Stamparatus would give me a slightly probably more even and better impression, but it's all good.
This stem could use a little bit of green.
Yes, we'll use green, the shaded spruce, on the leaves and the stem.
Are we going to do 3?
We're possibly going to do even more.
Cool.
Stamp, stamp, stamp. Where's the packet there? I don't know how many exactly we need. So it's
Maybe
always,
6?
I'm going to go with 5.
Oh.
Because I like odd numbers.
Oh, yeah.
But this is a beautiful stamp set, I've got to say.
Yeah, it
I
is.
love I do love this floral image, and that's why it's the only one essentially mounted. Remember, we had to use it. And one more at on stage. I'm pretty sure we did. I could be wrong. The font, I have to say, is not quite my style. It's very curly and anyway, and because we're using Stays On this, I'm going to use the Stays On cleaner on my stamp, which I'm running low on. I need to buy some more Stays On cleaner.
I'm running low on Stays On.
No, just the cleaner.
Okay.
And I'm going to wipe that.
I know what you're going to wipe it with.
I have
Can I
one
wipe
chamois. No, I'll do it.
Oh.
Thank you, sweetheart. One chamois which is darker than the other, and that's because I've used it with the Stays On.
Yeah.
And you can see the word, oh no, that says Christmas. I thought it was going to say cherish, which is that C. But no. Okay, well, let's start with the shaded spruce, and luckily we have that there, and I'm going to combine it
Ooh la la. With what?
with what was this?
Granny-
Granny apple green.
Granny apple.
So I'm going to start with the granny apple green, and oh, we need water in this. Could you please?
Vanilla.
Yeah, just to about there.
To that faint line.
Yes, but come on, chop chop.
Bye bye.
Yeah, just swap that. So this one already had water, and this is the bigger brush. So I'm going to start with the granny apple green and the bigger brush, and onto the leaves. I want it kind of light.
I think it's exactly on the line.
Well done. Okay, thank you. It's good having my mini me with me. She can help out.
Yes, I can.
And with the smaller tipped water painter, I'm going to grab the shaded spruce and add.
Whoa, that looks good.
So it's a lot brighter, I think, than cherry blossoms are, but we're going to blend those two colours together. So you don't want to work too many leaves ahead, and ideally I would actually use 2 small brushes, but don't know where my... I do have 2 sets.
I like this leaf.
Ah, hold on. I think I put them in the colouring section. I did.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun. Okay, I'm gonna... Well, it's not really cheating. I'm gonna switch. Okay, so I've got 2 sets of the water painters, and oh, I grabbed the big one. So that means I already had the small one here somewhere. Here.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I forgot. I do prefer the smaller tip when I'm colouring images.
Then what do you use the bigger tip for?
Larger spaces, backgrounds, and things like that. Can you twist that onto
Sure.
that, please?
Whoa! Almost fell off the table.
Almost fell off, but almost doesn't count. Okay, that's better. I've got more control for finer details when I use the smaller tip. I'm just going to
There. Twist
zoom
it
in a
up.
bit. That way you can see. Thank you. I don't actually need it. Ooh.
There. So this is the bigger tip.
Yeah, that's the bigger tip one.
See that? It's a nice green that you made.
Oops. Mixing them up now. That's okay.
What's the daisies?
Just use your chamois.
Yummy.
So some people use a bit of a paper towel, which is quite normal, but I figure why not use the chamois since we have it, and it's a bit less wasting of resources. So there we go. So I'm going to do the leaf in the granny apple green first,
Then combine it with.
and then in the areas where it's darker and shaded, and the stamp set already shows you where
shaded
that
spruce.
I'm adding the shaded spruce.
And in the shaded area, you're adding shaded.
Yes, that's what
It's shaded spruce.
okay, shaded spruce in the shaded areas. Ho 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 ho, we're so funny. We're comedians. About which pink shall we use, because we've gone with brights. I'm thinking maybe
Magenta?
no, polished pink.
Oh yeah, polished pink.
Polished pink. So now that I've done all the greens,
Ooh, la, la,
gonna
that's nice.
I'm
Would you
squeezing
like
a
me to
lot.
do this one?
No, I'll do it so that all the green kind of comes out of the tip. Nib. I think the word is nib, but main thing is tip. And let's close Granny Apple Green.
Do you want me to close this colour?
No, I'll do it.
I don't have to.
This one's a bit stiff.
Oh,
Don't use it that much.
would you like me to put this away?
No, because I'll need to write them down. Okay,
Oh,
so polished
yeah.
pink. And we'll do it quite diluted, so it'll still be right.
Diluted.
But
Isn't that what you did with
yes,
the
perfect.
bluebirds?
The birds,
Diluted the blue.
yes, but it was more of a. And then I'm going to add
Ooh, ink.
the undiluted ink in the shading. Off this brush. So we're going to make 2 cards out of one, and when we die cut these, they will be white, or the cardstock will show on the edges around, but I want them to blend into the background a little bit more. So to help them blend into the background, I'm going to pick up some Pool Party ink.
Ew.
And
eyes. You left 2 eyes.
okay, and I don't want to dilute this too much, but I do want it to be runny. And I'm going to colour around
the flowers, the blossoms.
Well, we are going to use these die cuts to create 2 cards from the one technique, and that technique is this getting cardstock. That technique is the floating frame. So now frame. I could have gone a bit darker so that they would blend in, but they blend in a lot more than the regular. But yes, the floating frame.
That sounds cool. That sounds cool. Yeah.
So first, let's prep our card bases. We're going to use Pool Party for both. Ooh. And I'm going to score first at 14.85 and then cut at 10.5, and that gives us 2 top folding profile. Ooh. 2 top folding portrait card bases, and then I'm going to cut that at 10.5. No, sorry, at 10, and then at 14.55. I know I'm sharing 0.5 millimeter measurements. Is it 14.55? Yes, it is. No, it's 14.35. Sorry. 14.35, because that's how I do it. I used to ignore that little half thing, but I'm not anymore because that is not who I am. And so now what you need to do is layer your bits. So this is why I didn't know how many I needed. But you're going to layer your flowers.
You only have one left for that last card.
No, both cards are coming out from this, and what I'm going to do is snip that, because that will sit there, and we can get that one in up there.
Ooh.
And the idea is that you're happy with the positioning.
I'm happy with it.
You're happy with it, and I feel like we need something there.
Maybe
we could
sparkle.
No. Something as in some flower. Or
you can cut out another flower.
No, I'm not doing more watercolouring.
Oh, okay.
Position. Can always add. So once we cut these bits off, we can always add them in. Now we need some press and seal.
What's press and seal? Oh, that.
Which is the Glad press and seal.
Why Glad?
That's the brand.
Oh.
Oh, I'm cutting way too much. Oh no. Well, I am, but oh, there we go.
Yay.
And this will allow me to pick up those bits in the arrangement that they are and do some die cutting and placing and organizing. Now, I'm also very conscious that I've just watercolored these and they could still be damp. So I would personally recommend that you wait until everything is fully dry and give it a couple of hours. But obviously I can't keep the live going for a couple of hours. So I'm kind of lightly adhering them to the press and seal. Should have kept that there. And we're going to use, we might use that for one of the cards. Labels. so sweetly. Where are they? There they are. We're going to use the Stitched So Sweetly dies, I think. Or should I go plain with a circle? No, I'm going to go with a circle.
I'm just going to do something.
Layering circles. Or let's just double check. You basically just see what dies you have and see what might work. So I feel that could be all right, but then there's a bit of a flower gap there. Unless we, hey, we can flip this over. Ha ha ha. And then there's lack of flower gap there. I like that. So let's go with the Tasteful Label dies. And need to bring in my mini me has disappeared. She's just walked away. Ah, she's walking back apparently. She's coming back. I'm just going to lightly and now we're going to run that through the die cutting machine. So, there we go. Oh yes, I'll put it down. And now, the press and seal will be in 2 sections. We'll have this little one for one of our cards. And this big one with the window for the other one of our cards. And while I have this all out, it would be fun on one of them to use this die. It's a Stitched Greenery, and it's a die, but it's one big solid die, and it creates these stitched leaves, and it's really beautiful. Now, paper down, die on top. I always get confused with this one because it's so different. So it's a long life, but you're getting 2 cards out of it. Wow.
I have a cherry blossom.
Oh, you have a cherry blossom. Yes, you do. Lego cherry blossom. There, we have a cherry blossom. So isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? And I thought that would look really pretty in the background with that one. But for that one, we need, I don't want the stitching behind that. We'll kind of layer it. So here's some extra of the pool party, and I'm just going to cut out that same label.
I was going to bring some cherries as well, but I couldn't find any.
A what?
I couldn't find any cherries, and I was going to bring some cherries as well.
Yes, you do have Lego cherries as well.
Yeah, a few.
Okay. Time to assemble.
Assemble.
I'm just going to grab, running low. There we go, my last 2 inserts.
This is about the same size of the cherry blossoms on over there.
Yes, it is. But we won't put your Lego on our card. Okay, we'll need envelopes as well. Actually, let's stamp. I know, let's do the thing and then do the stamping. So this one will have that one. So let's start with this one. We're going to put on the back of our cherry blossoms, we're going to add some dimensionals. Now you kind of want to cover it in dimensionals, and if I had thought about it, but I didn't think about this, but one easier method for this was before I did the die cutting, I should have placed these on the foam adhesive, and then we could have die cut out the flowers and had the, what do you call it, dimension behind it already. But you know, hindsight is always a beautiful thing. Hindsight's learning something from your past, or from the past, should I say, so that you know how to do things better in the future. I definitely wish I had added them to foam adhesive, but that's okay. It is what it is. Actually, I think I'm low on foam adhesive too, so it would not have been super cool. Now the trick with this one is to line it up perfectly with that, but what I might do is do it upside down. And I'm hoping I won't get my head in. Now I will get my head in. My head's in the camera.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not apologizing. So that is now stuck to our, oh look at that, I have more grey hairs in the back than I realised. And now you slowly peel away the press and stick, and you're left with that floating image. And for this one, we will mount it on top of the stitched greenery and then on top of that. So let's adhere that. Thank you. Now with this one, I do recommend using, what's this one called? Stamp and Seal. This is the Stamp and Seal, not the Stamp and Seal Plus. And I do recommend that because I have found that the liquid glue goes through the little holes in that embossing folder. So, but it also does mean we don't have our usual wiggle room. So just be very mindful of how you stick that down. And I like it right there. So with this one, I'll use my favorite,
Wiggle room.
well, the multi-purpose liquid glue, because it has the wiggle room.
I have an idea how you could have wiggle room when you're using that as well.
Okay, how?
So you put that on first, then you do is put some glue on it.
Yeah, but
Then
that's
glue that
twice
so
glued and we don't really need it twice glued. Oops. Okay, so this one is a bit more fussier because we've got to adhere all of those. And we want to make sure that it is, we're not adding dimensionals too much too. Okay, so let's line that up so that it's kind of there. We know that that's going to be about there. So I like to grab a pencil and just, as a guide, it's not going to be the exact placement of the paper, but it's definitely quite close to. And that way I know where to put my dimensional backing on. And let's have a card front. I'm going to have to flip this. And I'm going to do it sideways because I feel like I can get a better lining up. Oops, I need to trim that. sweet. Nope, not confident. I'm gonna see if I can line that up this way. Oh, I should have kept the die cut. Oh, where's the hole? Aha. Going to be a little bit tricky. Going to use, so I'm going to use my grid paper here. So I've lined up the die cut of the grid paper, the hole or the negative. Half. It looks crooked, but it's centered in terms of that negative. And so now I can center this piece over it because that's what we die cut out. And now I can align this because we know. So that's going to be a bit more confident in the positioning though. Well, yeah, it's not too bad. And now carefully peel off. Now do remember that I did adhere this to the press and seal when it could have still been damp, so there is a potential for peeling off a bit of the colour. So if you're watercolouring and you're doing this technique, I would highly recommend making sure your images are all fully dry. But do you know what? I probably shouldn't speak too soon, but I have been very lucky in that it hasn't. Now, and I wouldn't throw this piece of press and seal away. I'll store it away in the system and then it can be used for something else. Maybe not for the floating frame technique, but can definitely be used in some sort of arrangement. Sometimes when I arrange a few layers of dies, I like to use a bit of press and seal. And now all we have to do is flip the card upside down and trim the edges. Little Miss finds this boring. She's yawning. I'm just joking, sweetheart. There we go. And take your time with this. If you prefer, use larger scissors.
I'm not picking anything.
No? Did anyone else see that little hand? And I'm going to die cut another one of these. Where's the die? Just going to do it down here for quickness. Such a word as for quickness.
Someone saw the hand.
Ah, Joanne, you've got to keep an eye on her for me. And we're going to add that label inside. Kind of gives it a bit more. Where am I? There's the camera. I've flipped the camera around. I'm not used to. I saw that hand.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. And I'm just wondering, maybe we should we? There, I saw it on the replay, well, on the publishing too. And we still need sentiment. I saw that. This one will be good. Wishing you long life together filled with love and promise. I've never distressed die edges before, Joanne. Though it could look good. I wish this was a layering die set, because then that would have been fun. You know, like have the smaller one. This is where if I used the circles, it would have been really good. I'm not going to emboss that with that, but I will use the sentiment. And I'll place it here. I'm not going to put the sticker on the back. Hopefully it'll be straight. And sweetheart, I might need those for the insides.
But I'm still keeping some of them.
Okay, so that will go in there, and that should fit perfectly because it is that same shape. And what I'll do is connected two of them.
To make a butterfly. A weird shaped butterfly.
You distress. Okay, I'm gonna have to learn how to do that because I've never done it before and I'm not wanting to try right now. But I'm very pleased with that.
Ooh, yeah.
And that will go onto this pool party card base.
Wouldn't it be hard to see the sentiment?
Possibly, I could have used a darker blue, but I am quite happy with the subtleness of that. Okay, and...
I'm definitely keeping this piece.
Okay.
You probably might need this piece inside of it.
And we're going to add
Yes.
my absolute favourite gems. Thanks, Joanne.
What's your favourite?
These are the Iridescent Rhinestone Basic Jewels, and Stamping Up Better continue them into the annual catalogue next year. Otherwise, I'll be very upset. And we're going to use these gems in the background. And that'll just kind of fill up the gaps a bit. Thank you, Margaret. So I'm starting with the biggest ones to fill out the bigger area. And then we'll move on to the medium and the small ones.
No.
And yes, I still use my snips, even though we have, just zoom in a bit. Even though we have the take your pick tool, I still prefer the scissors when it comes to gems. I feel that I have a lot more control. Yeah, perfect. Now the medium sized.
This paper feels nice.
Well, this is the Watercolour Fluid 100.
It feels 100% nice.
Ha ha ha.
I'm not joking.
Okay, that's good, sweetheart.
Oh, where did my watch go? Oh, I know.
Why did you take your watch off?
I don't know.
Oops. Escaped.
Cheeky.
Cheeky gem.
Ha ha ha.
Just like you
I told it to be cheeky.
told it to be cheeky. That would not surprise me. And now some of the little ones.
Little ones, please be cheeky. I'll go get my watch.
Good idea. Before you misplace it. I love these iridescent look. It is just so pretty. Just filling in the gaps. Perhaps I've gone overboard, but they're just so pretty.
They are. Can I have it?
And you could do the same in the gaps of this one, but I will not. I'm going to keep it plain, but we need a sentiment for that one. So let's zoom out a bit. Whew, it's getting warm in here. Yes, a question.
Did any of the small ones listen to me?
No, they were good.
That's sad.
Oh, what a mess. What a mess.
And I got my watch.
Cherish every moment of this day.
Yeah.
Love. You mean so much to me. I think that one will be good.
Would you like me to get one of these?
No, I'll get it.
Okay.
I don't know which one yet. Nope, I didn't think it.
Is this everything that we've used?
Yes, everything that we've used.
Yes,
It's quite a lot.
yes.
And
Oof.
just stamp the sentiment in pool party onto pool party. Oh, timber!
Timber.
Hilarious.
What's this
Perfect.
one? Cherish every moment to this day. Yeah, I read this upside down.
There we go. You mean so much to me. And just trim that.
Plastic cup? Oh, no, trim.
No, I'm gonna trim it.
You can make two cards quite quickly. You can make two cards quite quickly.
This is quite a long live today, so I wouldn't say this was particularly quick. But I am very pleased with the results. Let's see, that's not even.
I'll pick a good one to put inside a card for you. That's on my maybe list.
I like that. Oh, I'm talking to me. Not to. And then I'm going to
My maybe list.
just create a little.
I've got two on my maybe list.
Banner.
This also could be on my
Or a
maybe
flaggy
list.
end.
Actually, no.
And we'll put that up on dimensionals. I'm going to give it some. So we'll need the little,
The little, the little me.
the little, what are these called? The mini dimensionals, and peeling off the backing of the center one and placing a second dimensional on top. Now I haven't unpeeled the end one there. So I'm going to line this one up first, and you could even do a third. Actually, I'm going to add a third dimensional. Just to give it that height.
Mama,
Yes, I chick.
why do you always put little pictures on the bottom right? Not on the left right. The
Well,
bottom left.
on the inside of the card, so just quickly, let's finish the inside of the cards.
Where do you guys do on my maybe list?
I put them on the bottom right because we write from left to right, and then when we sign we say love Tatiana, and I'm left with a gap down there, so I'm using it to fill in that gap. And on this card I'm going to add that extra one, and on the other card, because this one has less,
Are you gonna have a look at these? That you can have a look at all of them. Oh, you can put this one just here.
and trim that off. Whew. It's getting warm in here.
Would you like to use any of these fellas?
No, thank you.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I thought you might choose better.
So we've got that one,
Whoops.
the inside, and then for the other inside, we're going to, where's the stamp there?
There.
Just so that I'm avoiding using the Stays On cleaner again, just going to use Memento, but if it wasn't such a long live, I would have used
That's on.
Stays On again. And let's stamp the envelopes.
Oh yay, envelopes. My favorite part.
So one envelope we shall stamp the top left corner. has Sue. That can go with that one. And then the other envelope I'm going to slip underneath my grid paper here.
216.
Whoa, this has been a long life.
Feels like you're...
And I've stamped the envelope flap as so. So let's cover up the ink. I'll pair this one with this one. So that is one card. And we've got the decorated internal. And then, oh, gotta adhere the inside.
You forgot?
I haven't forgotten, I just didn't get to it yet.
Oh.
And
In here.
there is the second one with lots of iridescent gems.
That one's so pretty.
So there we go. Whew. From being stumped to getting 2 cards out of it, I'm quite pleased. So let's flip. So thank you so much for watching and joining me in this creative adventure. I know it's a bit of a long one today, but I did get 2 cards out of that. And there was watercolouring involved. So I'm quite pleased despite the timing. We'll be back next week. So today's the 19th. What's 19 plus 7, sweetheart?
19 plus 7 equals 26.
Ah, 26. It's Australia Day.
Oh.
Shall we do one on Australia Day? I've got a big nod. So we will be here. We'll be here. Maybe at a later time. I'll advertise on my Facebook page. But we'll be here on Australia Day and we will have one more Little Miss Picks for the summer holidays. Bye for now.
Bye.